আসসালামু আলাইকুম। যাক আল জাজিরার সংবাদে বাংলাদেশের ব্যাপারে যারা তুলে ধরলো, তো আপনারা ভিডিওটি কন্টিনিউ দেখতে থাকুন।
That was supposed to end on Sunday has been extended indefinitely. Telecommunications have also been suspended, effectively isolating the country. Those measures are in place to deter protests against the government's jobs quota system, which have seen violent police crackdowns. At least 114 people have been killed and thousands injured. The Supreme Court is now meeting and is expected to hand down a decision on the system in the coming hours. Let's bring in our correspondent Tanveer Chowdhury. He's joining us live from Dhaka. So Tanveer, with communications cut, are you able to find out anything about the protests and if they're continuing in defiance of that extended curfew?
It's extremely difficult to come out news and information right now. The telephone lines are erratic. There is no internet services. The newspapers are not delivered. There's no newsstand. And the TVs, the satellite TVs are not showing anything about the death tolls or any report of casualties. Only thing they're showing is the destruction of government and public properties. That's all we get to see nowadays. And as far the information we're getting are through colleagues on the ground in different locations across the country. And even yesterday, there's been many deaths and casualties, but it's not been tallied, it's not been published in the news media, at least not on the electronic news media, but it might be on the print media, which we can't get hold of right now. As far as the court goes, we'll hear within maybe even a half an hour, the full bench of the Supreme Court will hear this case and hand out a verdict. And the government side is seeking a full abolishment of the quota, and that is what the student wanted. But the student right now have other demands. The main demand is a couple of the two key figures in the government has to resign. One of them is the Roads and Transport and Communication Minister, another is the Home Minister. They said they have instigated the violence against the students. They also have other demands. There's a lot of students are behind the bars right now. It's interesting that one of the key protest leader, Nahid Islam, who's been picked up by civil clothes detective police, is not accounted for when the family members are on the street. They said, we don't know where about his right now, but he was picked up by detective police. And yet, even the verdict might be for the students, there are a lot of things that the student wants resolved before they actually come to a compromise, because there's been so much bloodshed within last 1 week. And the city is eerily calm. The curfew is still on, as you have reported, and we'll see what after the verdicts, the fallout is from that.
Yeah, absolutely. All eyes on the Supreme Court. It's actually brought this hearing on the quota system forward, hasn't it, Tanveer, in light of the protests?
Yes, it could have been done earlier, but the High Court on June put this verdict. The government did abolish it in 2018, but the High Court reinstated the quota system. And the quota, actually expedited this thing. But after all this violence, the Supreme Court felt that this needs to have a special hearing and a 4-member appellate division bench. And after all this, now a lot of people are saying, why all this bloodbath, why all this destruction after all this? Yet you could have listened to what the students were saying. And we need to see how people react after this, because it's not just the issue of quota right now. Many people died, property is destroyed, government property is destroyed, and there's an information blackout, curfew. People are into serious inconvenience, they're apprehensive. They don't know what the future holds as far as political situation goes in Bangladesh. At least 70 opposition leaders are detained, including 4 major senior leaders of Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Many of the students are behind the bar, and we still don't know full account of the death toll and casualties in the last few days that happened here.
Tanveer, thank you very much for that. That is Tanveer Chowdhury with what we know so far, joining us live from Dhaka.
সবাই দেশের জন্য দোয়া করবেন এবং আপনাদের মূল্যবান কমেন্টের মাধ্যমে